Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my November 2023 book haul part 2. So I did buy a lot of books in November, as I've said, and I have a plan in place. If you've seen my videos on that I've started the Read What You Own challenge. So I have plenty of books to read. That's not going to be the problem. So, but I did buy, I think there's 13 used books that I picked up during the month of November. Some of them I just picked up on a whim, like when I went to bookstores, because I went to a couple of my local bookstores during the month when I was buying a lot of books, and then a lot of them I bought on eBay as well, a couple of specific ones that I was looking for. So I think that's it. So we'll just get into it. The first couple ones are going to be my kind of haunted house ones. So I did pick up a Molly Harper book. This I think is a standalone. It's Better Homes and Hauntings. And I think she goes to become a gardener for some place, and it's, you know, it's haunted or something. So anyway, I really enjoyed some of Molly Harper that I read earlier this year that had to do with shifters. So I'm looking forward to a haunted house one from her. I picked up The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates. This one I have gotten from the library twice and never finished it because I always got distracted by other things, because again, it was a library book, so it wasn't a high priority. So I finally just decided to get this one. I know this is one of the, was really popular when I first started reading Darcy Coates, was the more popular of her haunted house books, but I've just never made it through. And I know it has to do with, I think, a young woman who inherits a house outside of town, and yeah, she doesn't have much choices. She has to go there. And again, there's a haunting and stuff. It's Darcy Coates. I love it. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that. And then I got the sequel and the last book so far in the Supernaturals series. I read the Supernaturals this October. So I got a eBay bought In the Still of the Night, which is following a lot of the characters from the first book as they go on to another haunted situation. I think this is a ghost town in California, I think. And something bad happened years before. So that's all I know. Again, it's a haunted house one. I probably won't get to this until next year, but I did want to get that copy. There is no paperback copy. I have the paperback, here, but there is no paperback copy. There's only a hardback copy, so I had to buy that. And I got that pretty cheap. I did have another rom-comish or witchy book, romance, Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. This is one that came out a couple years, was it last year or the year before? And a lot of people talked about it, and at the time I wasn't really reading that kind of books, so I didn't pick it up. Yeah, 2021. So, but I found a used copy of it, so I thought I'd try it. I think this is about a woman who left town and then she comes back, and her ex-boyfriend was dating her friend, but he was also dating another woman. And so I think the three of the women get together, and then I think there's a romance between some of the women. I don't remember how it goes, but it just sounded fun and I got it. Then I have a couple fantasy romance. I found House of Beating Wings by Olivia Wildenstein. So I think this is the first book in this series. I don't know a whole lot about this because The Kingdom of Crows. So this I saw, Becca in the Books read earlier this year, I think, and really enjoy it. All I know is about is a woman, it's, as I said, it's a fantasy romance. She goes to the Oracle and they tell her that she has to do something. I don't remember what it is. I can't read it that fast. Sorry. And then she thinks it's because it'll help her become, that she'll get together with the prince who she's been in love with. But it's somehow, there's some demon who is released. A winged demon is released, and somehow he's obsessed with her. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It just sounds fun for a fantasy romance. So I wanted to give that a shot, and I found it at a used bookstore. I was really excited when I saw that. I also got The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramas. This one I've been looking at to try. This one has to do with a woman who is high in command in a kingdom, and something happens, something bad happens, and somehow her powers to like come to being, and it's not good. And I think she and her rival for power, they have to work out what to do with that. And that's about all I know. I think this is a series though. I'm not positive. But I'll have to look more into that. But this is one I've been looking for, and again, I found it used, so I bought it. And then I found Age of Ash by Daniel Abraham. Sorry, my brain. This one is also this is the first book in the Killamar trilogy. So I think the third book is coming out in a couple months to finish this off. But this is one of those ones where I've been interested in, but I didn't want to pay full price for. I saw some people who really enjoyed this and some people who really didn't. They think it's pretty slow, and it's because it's talking about this city, and it follows some characters in this book, and then the second book follows other characters in the city somehow. I'm not sure. It's like, I don't know if they're like standalone-ish or something, but it's a different kind of fantasy. I would really like to try this. Again, he is part of the J.S.A. Corey, the Expanse series. He's one of the authors for that. And I have another book of his too somewhere, but I do want to try this. It sounds interesting if I want a kind of slower fantasy. And again, you have to be in the right mood for that, but I found it used, and so I decided to go for that. So then I have 6 books. Oh no, let's do this one first. So I found this online, and I'm glad the copy is really good because I bought it, sight unseen. Is The World of Jane Austen, which is done by Nigel. Oh, I'm missing a book. Okay, hold on. I'll take one of my books. Sorry. So there might be one more book I forgot I read. Anyway, Nigel Nicholson. So this one, he wrote a biography on Virginia Woolf, which I'll go get in a minute because I forgot it. But I noticed when I looked up his name to find out other books by him, because I have read a book on his parents that he wrote. He had this one on Jane Austen. And again, I just love books on Jane Austen, and it has to do with the places that she's, that she would have gone to. And so it's another, just a neat, a nonfiction I can read in Jane Austen July. So I picked that up. I mean, it's a pretty good copy for what I got. And again, it was a sale as well. So I really enjoyed that. So let me go get the other book, and hold on. Okay. So sorry about that. I did have to go get this other book. I forgot because I had read it in November, so I put it in a different stack. And so anyway, so I have 6 books left. Used books that I got. They're all related to Virginia Woolf in some way. I had, again, let's talk about the Nigel Nicholson biography, this little short one. It's one of these Penguin Lives series that they did in the early 2000s, I think. Anyway, this was not my favorite kind of biography, but it was interesting because he knew Virginia Woolf. Again, his mother was Vita Sackville West. And again, I have a lot of stuff on her too, which we'll talk about. But so he knew her when he was a child. So he has some different perspectives, but it really tells her story, but it also does not paint her in the greatest light, this biography. But I did read this in November for Nonfiction November. So at least I've read one of these books, right? I did also buy Virginia Woolf by Hermione Lee. This one, as I said, this came out in like 2000, and this book came out a few years before that. Oh, where's the... Hold on, the title page says this came out in 1996. So this came out like 4 or 5 years before that other book. So anyway, this is massive. And this is her biography on Virginia Woolf. So I've heard about this one for a long time, and I've been wanting to get it. And they had it was a used copy on a sale at Pal's that I bought. So I'm hoping to read this soon, because now that I've read this one, it just wasn't enough or the way I wanted it. And I think this will be interesting to read this one. So anyway, so I have a biography on Virginia Woolf. I also picked up a couple of books by Virginia Woolf because I'm trying to complete my collection. It's not a pretty collection. Most of these ones are not great copies either. I didn't pay that much for them, but that's just fine. I picked up 3 Guineas, which was her second to last book. So I don't know anything about that, but I picked it up. And then her last book, Between the Acts. Is this the one that was? No, I think this is the one that no. Well, this one, yeah, this is a little marked. Yeah, this one's a little, has a couple, like in the beginning, somebody started it, but didn't get very far. Anyway, it's Virginia Woolf. She's a required taste. Like, her writing style is very different and it changes through her books. So I've read a lot of her middle, very popular books, but not all of them yet. And I wanted to get some of the more ones I didn't know about. There's still several that I want to get. So anyway, I'll probably be looking for Virginia Woolf once my book buying ban is over. So I got those 2 novels. And then I got 2 books that are, so they're connected because they're to Vita Sackville West. So again, I had an obsession 2 years ago with Vita Sackville West after reading All Passion Spent. And again, I read Orlando by Virginia Woolf then too. And so I have quite a few books on them, and it's just an obsession. So I did finally let myself buy Violet to Vita, the letters of Violet Trefuzes. I don't know how you say her name. To Vita Sackville West. So these are letters back and forth between 2 women who had a very passionate like friendship and affair kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure this is the one they left their husbands with each other, and then their husbands tracked them down and brought them back. This is not a great copy. It didn't say it would be stained, but it doesn't feel weird. It's an older book, but I didn't pay that much for this. But this is what I want to read, is their letters back and forth, because I've read the letters from Vita Sackville West and Virginia Woolf, which I really enjoyed that collection. And so I kind of want to see how, and again, letter writing at that time in the 20s and 30s was quite a big deal. Again, actually it's a little bit before that. It starts in 1918, I think. Maybe it's before that. I don't know. We're going to see. Anyway, I really want to read this at some point, and I'm glad I picked that up. And then the last thing I bought used just came in, which is Sissinghurst, Vita Sackville West, and the Creation of a Garden. And this is by Vita Sackville West and Sarah Raven. So this is a book that she put together about her property, Sissinghurst. She was from a family where she lived in another estate, and then, because she was a girl, it did not pass to her. It went to her uncle and then his family. So later in her life, she bought another estate, and she and her husband built this place and all the gardens that go around it. And that people can still go to Sissinghurst today and see the stuff that she did there. And so this one, I just think this is a really pretty book. It has a lot of pictures and a lot of stuff about it. Again, obsession with Vita Sackville West and Virginia Woolf. This time period, just so interesting between the wars kind of thing. So anyway, so I'm hoping to get to this too at some point, if not next year. But this is like one of the last things I bought online that showed up. So we'll see. So that is it. That is all the used stuff that I bought this in November. As I said, I'm going on what is technically a book buying ban for at least this month. We'll see how it goes again. I usually don't make myself go on book buying bans just because I don't do well with them. But I think I've got enough books. I should be fine for a little while. We'll see what happens. If there are any of these books that you think I should read sooner rather than later, let me know. How did your book buying go in November? Clearly you saw that I did way too much, but let me know if you guys did really well, or you held yourself back and only bought what you really needed right then. I need to know that. Anyway, so I think that's it. Anyway, I only have, is it 2 books? 2 books outstanding one book that I paid for in November that I haven't gotten yet, and then one pre-order so far for December. So December's book haul should be teeny. That should be it. Those 2 books. We'll see what happens if I actually do that. We'll see. Anyway, we'll check in later. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.